Second down, 13. At the 45 of Baltimore. Brunell back in the pocket. Has a bit of time now being chased. Plants throws. He's looking downfield. He's got a receiver. And it is caught. Jimmy Smith at the 5. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. He just Wayne Starks for 45 yards.
Barks out for signals, drops to throw, has time, fires the slant. Jimmy's got it this time, 35, 30, middle of the field, 20. He's going to the 20-yard line. He's going to score. 10, 5, Jimmy Smith, touchdown. And the Jaguars are right back in this ball game. Barks out the signals, pressure coming, steps up, turns, throws. He's got Jimmy, first down, 20. There he goes, 10, 5, touchdown, win. Jacksonville! Done under pressure, steps to avoid, turns and throws. He's got him in, caught Jimmy inside the 40-yard line to the 37 and down to the 36.
Congratulations to Jimmy Smith. That is now his 800th career reception, and what a play to get it on.
This team winning right now, it helps bring so much attention to our franchise, what we did back in the day, like we were talking about, these Hall of Fame conversations. But when we're winning, we see the conversations pick up. So we have noticed that. So obviously, you know, I'm pulling for my team to get to this Super Bowl.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. We have made it to the end of the week, the bye week, that is. Tom McManus has the day off. I'd like to say he'll join us in studio next week, Tony, but I know he'll be in Vegas.
That would be
next
a lie.
week. I'd like to join him maybe in Vegas next week. I don't hear Jaguars Today getting invited out to the Circa Resort and Casino, but guess we'll just have to slum it here over on Bowden Road once again. How are things?
All good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Bowles-Wilson tonight?
That's the matchup tonight.
Does this tear at your heartstrings?
No.
No? I mean, your alma mater here?
I know it's the alma mater. It's one of those where it was kind of cool. This is the fourth year in a row they've played. They had never played. These two schools had never played football before that. So I've been a call of all four after tonight. I've seen Wolfson score one touchdown in the first 3 years, and that was the first year they got on the board. But the last couple of years, they've been shut out by Bowles. So
where's this game being played?
It's at Bowles.
Oh, it's not on the Wolf Den.
So Wolfson's not going to get a call tonight, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about
that.
that.
We get a call from Tony Smith on the radio.
Well, they had the moment, and you might have, if you watched the tape of that game last year, there was a cheap shot taken on a punt, right, by Wolfson on the Bowles punt returner during the game, and it was a serious injury that happened. Everything stopped for 20 minutes. Like with the situation in game, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if they just call it from here, right? Like there was nothing else to be provided by them finishing that game. They wound up, it was a game that should have taken an hour and a half to play, took 2 because of the cheap shot. I don't know if any of that's still in anyone's head, for tonight's game, but
Tony calling out his alma mater like that.
They took
a
cheap shot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Revenge on the mind of the Bulls Bulldogs. What are the Baldwin Indians up to?
We got Andrew Jackson homecoming, so huge distraction. So hopefully we can play football tonight.
Huge What? The homecoming is a huge distraction.
Yeah, it's Baldwin, man. You shut down the town. We got a whole parade for that from like 12 to 2 o'clock.
There is a homecoming parade today?
Yes, okay. Around the whole town. You go through the neighborhoods, you go around the school.
How long does that take?
It's the whole last period, so it's about an hour and a half. You go by the elementary school.
I just want, I don't know how big is the neighborhood of Baldwin.
You can blink, and you already go through the town.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I didn't know how long the parade had to go. Maybe do a few laps or whatever.
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half because, you take a nice little stroll.
All right. What are your chances tonight?
We're confident.
Are you?
We're confident, yeah. It's a playoff game. Jackson is an 8 seed right now, and Baldwin's a 4 seed, and the top 8 teams make the playoffs.
So this is an actual playoff game?
No, but Jackson's playing for a playoff spot.
Gotcha.
As are we. We're trying to play for a home playoff game if we stay in the top 4.
Sight set a little bit higher.
Potentially.
I don't know who the DeLand Bulldogs have, so I can't really join the conversation. Today, Tone, since we are on a bye, this weekend, the Jags have reached this point better than I thought they would record-wise, although not trending in the right direction. We're asking folks today, pretty simple. Jags are 4-3 with the break. How do you think the rest of the regular season will go? And your options today in our Chad and Sandy Real Estate Question of the Day poll, the Jags will win the AFC South. The Jags will make the playoffs as a wild card. the Jags will be competitive, but they'll ultimately fall short of the playoffs, or collapse coming. So whatever you think, and by collapse, you can define that yourself, but I would think like missing out on the postseason by like 3 full games, something like that. Where the last couple weeks of the year, you're mathematically eliminated. Maybe the last 3 weeks of the year, the realistic chances are gone to make the postseason. Something along those lines. I don't know. You may define it even more differently than I am today, but just one quick vote over at MD_1010XL will let your voice be heard on that matter. We'll hear the voice of Hayes Carlyon coming up here in less than 10 minutes. And then Jimmy Smith, all-time great Jaguar wide receiver, an hour later in the second hour of Jaguars Today will weigh in. He's been a very vocal critic of the play of Brian Thomas Jr. I do believe Jimmy thinks he's talented and would like to see him succeed. So we won't just talk about BT, but just the state of affairs from what he's seeing from the Jaguars in general, Tone. And always good to have one of the alpha all-time greats. It is funny, and like I get it. You don't want, even if a guy played for your organization, if you're a diehard fan, you don't want to see a guy criticize your players, things like that. But some of the discourse online, like, who are you to critique anybody? Like, what do you mean? Who is Jimmy Smith? Tell me you're like 20 years old without telling me you're 20 years old. Jimmy Smith's the greatest guy to ever do it at that position for the Jaguars, and a borderline Hall of Famer, which, by the way, he's made it to the semifinalist list this year. So we'll talk about that with Jimmy coming up as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look, it certainly seems like if you got a player that was good enough to be a Hall of Fame semifinalist, maybe if you're 20 years old, you learn something about him.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. Look, it's fine. Everyone gets all up in their feelings on social media, and everything. But yes,
it's silly to jump on Jimmy Smith as if his opinion is invalid.
And by the way, his opinion doesn't have to always be right just because he was a great player for the Jags, but it's certainly a valid one, right? And he has as much right and perspective to weigh in as anybody has ever had on
about
the
that position.
Jaguars. Certainly about that position in this market. All right, so we'll get into that today as well. We got confidence picks. Tom McManus has sent them along to you. Is that correct, Dylan?
That is correct.
All right.
6:45 a.m. this morning.
Dylan will be the proxy. Tom, I don't know if he made them at 6:45 today, but I would guess he probably did, is my guess, because he would have sent them whenever he made them, and he probably dawned on him he needed to get those in. I will be honest with you, I didn't bring last week's results, but I think I beat you by like 2 or 3 points, and we beat Tom by a little bit more than that. So, but I've got it all. I calculated it. I just left it on the desk at the house, so I'll bring that in next week. But we'll go through our picks. We got 12 to get to today, and it'll be interesting to see who McManus has on the top line. One usually reserved for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It typically is, so we'll see.
All right.
He'll have to join us with another team this week.
Join the regs down here. All right, so again, what will the Jags do rest of the regular season? Will they win the division? Will they make the playoffs as a wild card? Will they be competitive but ultimately miss out on the postseason, or is a collapse coming for the Jacksonville Jaguars based on the trend line right now of losing their last couple of games, particularly the way they lost to the Rams? We'll get into that and more throughout the course of the day. Hayes Carlyon from the Frangie Show going to join us coming up right after the break. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for big number one Duval Ford. I rave about their service department. It is absolutely incredible. They got a great selection of Ford vehicles like the F-150, the Super Duty, the Broncos, but they've also got the fantastic Ford mobile service that'll come to you at home or at work, available for oil changes, filters, battery replacement, recalls, and a lot more. With no extra fees, you get the same dealership quality delivered right to you, and that fantastic convenience. Yeah, I still want you to swing by and see the great selection of vehicles on Cassett Avenue. That's big number one Duval Ford, online at duvalford.com.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL. The players leave it all on the field, and after it's over, the party gets started. Packer Leon and Coach Gerald England bring you the window world of Northeast Florida fifth quarter, nailed down by Apex Roofing and Contracting and Hurricane Grill and Wings.
Looking for your new favorite hangout this football season? Try Voodoo Brewing Company in the heart of San Marco. Locally owned and community focused, Voodoo Brewing serves up award-winning beers, scratch-made upscale pub fare, and laid-back vibes where everyone's welcome. For live music, trivia nights, and all the football action this season, make Voodoo Brewing Company Jacksonville your new favorite spot on San Marco Square.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Fall is here. The air is crisp. Football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit CSSFireplaces.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code HEAT to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code HEAT for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code HEAT for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Tom McManus buckles his chin strap as he joins Lauren Brooks and Taylor Dahl.
I just love a man in uniform.
Helmets and Heels. Afternoons 2 to 4. Served by Queen Law Group on 1010XL.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and when the weather starts to shift a little bit, especially during the fall, you've got some really cool stuff from Honda Off-Road.
We do. It's the favorite time of the year for me. Nice little chill in the air. We've got some side-by-sides. We've got the ATVs. Of course, they're legendary dirt bikes. We've got it all.
And for the hunter?
Oh, we've got side-by-sides that work and play.
All right, so make sure you check it out. Showroom wide open for you on Atlantic near Regency. If you want to go off-road and have some fun, check out Cycles of Jacksonville.
Hey gang, Prosser here. Jacksonville homes are selling, but it can take months, and it takes a price lower than you want. Well, getting top price means aggressive marketing, and Chad and Sandy Newman are the Jacksonville experts who have proven systems to drive the demand to sell your home. And they have this unbelievable promise and guarantee. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. If you need to sell now, Chad and Sandy have instant offers. Fast, easy, and stress-free. You want max price? Chad and Sandy are going to aggressively market your home, and they're going to get it. Anthony and Mary in Palm Coast said, we wanted to move back home closer to family. Getting max price was more important than a fast sell, but we had only purchased our home last year, so we didn't have much equity. After just 23 days of aggressive marketing with Chad and Sandy, they sold our house at the price we needed to make the move. Call the Jacksonville experts you can trust, and I recommend. Call Chad and Sandy at 904-414-6200 or ChadAndSandy.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
Can't touch this.
Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
The Hammer has arrived. Hayes Carline of the Frangie Show here to join us on Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey and Tony Smith with you this morning. Good morning, Hayes. How are you, sir?
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you all?
Always fantastic to catch up with you. We are doing quite well. Let's jump right into it. A little bye week evaluation of where the Jags stand. Hayes, let's start with this. Where did you think they would be, and are they ahead of that pace at this point?
I think they're definitely ahead of the pace. I mean, you look at a schedule that through the first 7 games, these teams have a combined record of 28-20, so a very difficult first 7 games. And for this team to have a win at the 49ers, to have a win over the Chiefs, yeah, I get that, everybody's disappointed in the last 2 weeks, but they're in a great position to really make a run at this thing, particularly when you consider all the things that have gone, wrong. And for them to be 4-3 at the bye, I think it's a testament to Liam Cohen and his staff.
Along those lines, Hayes, what would you say? It's something Dempsey and I have been kicking around all week here, but what would you say is the identity of the 2025 Jaguars?
I think the identity is going to be, ideally it's a strong ground game team that takes the ball off of you, and we've seen that in several of the games. Haven't seen it really the last 2 weeks. I think injuries have really hurt them. I think the Brenton Strange injury is a lot bigger than maybe what we realize. They need to get Brenton healthy, and not having Devin Lloyd obviously when he's doing what he's been able to do in terms of the takeaways. That's a setback not to have Devin. So, you hope that they can get, those two guys back. But I think the identity is, want to run the ball on you and going to take the ball away. So, I think takeaways are hard to predict, but you don't often see a team be so great at it and then just completely not be able to do it. So I think the takeaways will come back, and I think they'll come back starting in Las Vegas, going up against Geno Smith, who's been spraying the ball all over the field this year.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. You look at the second half of the season, you get the Raiders. And now, granted, they can say the same thing about you if they want to, but you get the Raiders, you get Tennessee twice, you get the Jets. Hayes, that should help you double your win total right there. And then you've always played well against the Colts here in Jacksonville. I don't think Houston are world beaters. I don't think Arizona are either. So there are a lot of winnable games out there. The question is, how well positioned will the Jags be to take advantage? Let me just ask you, we understand all the circumstances around Trevor Lawrence, right? And anytime there's criticism, there's a litany of excuses. And anytime there's praise, there's a lot of finger pointing. So it goes both ways. But just in general, how do you think he's adapted to what Liam Cohen has asked him to do? And do you see him making progress throughout this season so far?
I think he's adapted well to what Liam Cohen wants to do. I mean, I think operationally he's been very good, and I will give him credit for that. I've never thought of Trevor as a particularly cerebral player, and I do think his instincts are still leave a lot to be desired. But in terms of picking up the system, in terms of running the system, in terms of getting them into the right, audibles, I think he's done a really good job with that. It's almost like he's still kind of thinking a little too much, because he's doing a great job with the running of the show component. But then when it just comes to the execution, the physical throw, the decisiveness in play, he hasn't been as strong. My hope is that the more he's with Liam, that will improve, and that will improve. It's going to have to improve. But honestly, I think you'd have to give him a C at best for what he's put, in terms of the results so far. But I will say, at least you can see he's running the operation cleanly, and there are some things that if he can just get better at in terms of the physical execution, he can take a step forward. But he needs to take a big step forward in the second half.
Hayes, we know there's only so much they can change during the bye week, but if you were putting together a list of things that you would like to see addressed during this week off, what would be at the top of that list for you?
I would have tinkered with, or at least thought about making some changes along the offensive line, because I do think they have 7 quality guys for 5 spots. Patrick McCary will start there. We talked about this in the offseason. Right guard was where he's played the least in his career, and he hasn't been particularly strong so far. His contract is big enough. He's not getting benched. He's going to be one of the 5, but maybe right guard isn't his best spot. If that's of the 5, that's where he's played the least in the NFL with Baltimore. Do you look at maybe moving him over to the left side? Wyatt Milam maybe can go to right guard. Do you move Anton Harrison to left tackle, bench Walker Little, and give Adoga a chance at right tackle? Something like that. It doesn't seem like that's where they're headed with it, but that's something that I would have liked to have seen considered, because I think you're seeing a line that the last couple of games at least has really gotten tossed around.
Yeah, it had, but I think for the most part, and I'm no offensive line expert, Hayes, but I think Ezra Cleveland has played well this year, so I'd be surprised if they tinkered with him either by moving McCary over there or Milam directly. But, that's neither here nor there. We'll see how they make any kind of line adjustments coming out of the bye. I'm interested in your thoughts on what they can do to get Brian Thomas Jr. going, or is this just headed towards kind of a disappointing lost season? Can he reclaim at least some of the form that had us so excited about him heading into this year?
It's been stunning, the regression of Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, he was somebody that I thought was, on his way to superstardom. And it's not even that he isn't playing well, it's how he isn't playing well. He just doesn't look like he's interested in playing tackle football. I mean, it looks like he's afraid of contact. He's played at a very timid level throughout the season. I mean, he's had a couple of games that are the worst games I've seen a receiver play in the NFL this year. I mean, in terms of one-handing passes, shrinking down, tucking his neck into his shoulders because he's bracing for a hit. And then, then you compound it with just the routine drops, not winning 50-50 balls. It's just been stunning. I mean, it's been stunning how bad he's been. I don't know that – I mean, obviously he has the talent to snap out of it, but, I mean, there's not a lot going right that gives me a sense that, this is a slump and he's going to come out of it. I think they've got their hands full in terms of trying to figure out a solution. And I think the best solution is Travis Hunter is now your number one weapon, and Brian Thomas is a supplemental piece to that. And maybe that's a role that he's more comfortable in. I mean, maybe that suits him more as opposed to being the focal point of an offense. It's disappointing to have to throw that out there because you thought they had this, elite number one receiver for a long time, but I mean, he isn't even playing like a good number two receiver. Really, he's been. There's very little redeeming things that Brian Thomas Jr. has put on film so far through 7 games.
Hayes, not everybody, but most people I think would have had Brian Thomas Jr. as the Jaguars' best player on the roster, right? Potentially going into the season. If we're 7 games into it now, you just mentioned Travis Hunter. I wouldn't be surprised if you list him as one of these players. But who, in your mind, are the Jaguars' 3 best players through the first 7 games of the season?
That's what's so stunning about this is they're 4-3, and 2 of their stars have played well. Josh Hines-Allen has a half sack. Entering last night's game, there were 250 players in this league currently that have at least 1 sack. Josh Hines-Allen is not one of the 250 players in the NFL today that have at least 1 sack. It's just stunning. And he's, obviously had to play against Houston that sealed the win. There's been good things, but, for a pass rusher as accomplished as Josh Hines-Allen, I mean, that's just a staggering low total. 7 games into a season, Trayvon Walker, obviously has been battling with the club, but, he doesn't, he has 2 sacks. So it's hard to say. Trevor Lawrence isn't completing 59% of his passes. Brian Thomas Jr. is probably having the most disappointing season of any individual in the NFL. So when you look at it, I think it's hard to say. I mean, obviously, because of what he's done, Devin Lloyd would have to be high up there. I don't know if that's sustainable. I mean, I don't know if Devin Lloyd is, on a year in and year out basis would be your best player. Brendan Strange has been outstanding, but now he's hurt. So it's hard to find. Jordan Lewis has been really good, so I guess you'd throw him in there. Foye Oluwakon's been a good, reliable player, has done some good things. It's hard to say. I mean, the offensive line has taken turns with penalties and breakdowns, so it's hard to pinpoint anybody there. Etienne's had some good games, but also has been stymied lately. It's hard to pick guys that I think you'd feel great about in terms of how they're producing, which again is why it's encouraging when you look at the record and they're 4-3.
Yeah, I'm with you. If I had to pick a Jags MVP today, I'd still say Devin Lloyd, and maybe even highlighted by the fact that his absence, is wasn't out there to make impact plays, and they lost the last couple of games. And his pace was not sustainable throughout the whole season. But I think that's the case, Hayes, that we had a lot of candidates through 4 or 5 weeks that were playing really, really well. And over the last couple of weeks, it hasn't been nearly as much the case. But one aspect of the team we thought we wouldn't have to be discussing much at all other than to praise him would be Cam Little. What is your personal confidence level that Cam Little can get back to his 2024 form?
I think he's going to get back into the form, but I don't think it would have hurt to bring in a kicker on the practice squad just to, give him just as a reminder that, look, there's only 32 of these jobs and you need to snap out of this. Liam Cohen, it doesn't appear like it's going to go in that direction. He was very, vocal about his belief in Cam Little. So I would assume it'll be Cam Little with no competition, but you're not going to make every kick. We get that. You're not going to make every kick, but this has been to miss 5 through 7 games and to be kind of in a slump. Yeah, he needs to come out of it. So I obviously he's got unbelievable talent, but there's only 32 of these jobs in the world. And so he's got to figure it out quick, or the Jaguars should call number 33, 34, and 35 and get him in here, because there's you shouldn't tolerate poor kicking. There are too many world-class kickers that, if it's not working, you got to go on to the next guy. But I understand Cam Little has incredible talent, incredible leg strength, and you want to give him as much time as possible. So I would anticipate he'll have another couple of games to figure it out. But, look, if he costs them a game coming up, particularly a game as vital as the Raiders game, I think it's going to be a quick hook.
It's now just 11 days away. Is there anything you'd like to see the Jaguars do before the trade deadline?
I think if you can, a lot of it depends on who's out there, but certainly you'd like to see them make a move, and whether that's a receiver that can catch a football, whether that's a defensive lineman that can provide some rush, something like that, whether it's a safety that isn't getting perpetually torched. I think there's areas that you look, maybe tight end if you're worried about Brenton Strange's absence, going longer than, just like 4 games. Maybe you do something there. But yeah, I think some of it will depend on who's legitimately available. But you've got all these mid-round, picks. I think absolutely, and we know, Spot Rack reported a couple weeks ago they've cleared cap space. So I would anticipate they want to add. But this Raiders game is a big game. Yeah, I give Ryan O'Halloran credit for this because he was the first one that kind of brought it up that I'd heard of, at least. He's been sitting in this week on the Frangie show with Frank on vacation. And, Ryan said, look, if you lose the Vegas game, are you now sellers? You're now 4-4 on a 3-game losing streak. And do you want to, be investing still in this current team? Because the guy that you're trading for is probably a rental, probably on his last year. And they've got a lot of guys on a last year of a contract. So you're probably looking at adding a guy really just for this run. So beating Las Vegas is critical, because if you beat Vegas, then absolutely you're a legit contender. They're in the playoffs now, and you have to think winning isn't going to affect that. So at 5-3, you're one of the 7 that are currently in. If you lose and you're 4-4, well, now you're out, and you've got to play catch up. And so I think this Raiders game is really pivotal in determining whether they will buy or they will sell.
All right, Hayes, we got to wrap it up. So today's question of the day, we asked, rest of the season, how do you think it goes? Jags win the division. They make the playoffs as a wild card. They're competitive but miss the playoffs, or a collapse is coming. How would you vote?
I think they're going to win the division. The Colts will get 7-1 Sunday after they beat the Titans, but I think they lose at the Steelers. I think they could lose at home to the Falcons. They will lose at Arrowhead. I think they'll probably split with Houston. I think they'll probably split with the Jaguars. I think they'll lose at Seattle. I think they'll lose at home to San Francisco. So the Colts are going to be 7-1, but I don't think they're going to gain a lot of ground beyond that. And so I do think the Jaguars can catch them on the final final week of the season.
All right. Well, that would be fantastic and drama-filled. With the Hammer, Hayes Carline's perspective right there. You'll catch him this afternoon. I guess Ryan O will be in with you again for the Frangie Show.
That's right. One more day.
Look forward to it, man. Hayes, always appreciate your visits and all the best. Enjoy your weekend off.
Thanks so much for having me, guys. Always enjoy it. Take
All right,
care.
pal. There he goes, the Hammer, Hayes Carline, who you will find at his name, Carlyon, on the X platform. An hour from now, or less than that now, Jimmy Smith will stop by with his own unique perspective. We'll continue the conversation on the other side. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
My dad, Randy Marion, has been in business for 35 years.
35 years of taking great care of your customers.
And our community. It has also been 35 years that my dad has been the king of price.
Yep.
So now's the time to fall into savings and drive in style in a brand new Cadillac.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, drive the all-new electric Optique, Lyric, and Vistique. They're all in stock and ready to drive today.
Come see us today at Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville.
And don't forget,
tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Plus tax type Title $9.99 admin fee and resistol on approved credit.
Jacksonville is football season, and Duck Duck Rooter is proud to be on your home team. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, we tackle plumbing, septic, and air conditioning problems with championship-level service. Keep an eye out for our custom Jaguar wrap plumbing vans rolling around town. They're hard to miss and always ready for the next play at your home or business. With thousands of 5-star Google reviews and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida, trust Duck Duck Rooter to keep you in the game. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter, when you're stuck, call the Duck.
Hey 1010XL fans, it's game time, but don't get sidelined from the fun. The JTA Game Day Express is the smartest way to get to the bank on time. It's all sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens. There are 5 convenient pickup locations across the River City, but remember, Game Day Express is cashless. All passes must be purchased through the MyJTA mobile app. Get your $10 pass today. For all of your game day needs, go to myjtafla.com.
Plan ahead this year and order your home holiday decorating from Kuhn Flowers. They'll take care of all of your Christmas tree setup, lighting, and decorating hassles too. This is High Flying Jacko. Call on Kuhn Flowers. They'll do it all this fall.
This football season, make Hurricane Grill and Wings your game day getaway. Sip on handcrafted cocktails like the Millionaire Margarita or enjoy an ice-cold Bud Light. Game day drink specials are here all season. Find a location near you at hurricanewings.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, I've heard you talk about the quality philosophy of Underwoods. Just what is that?
Frank, simply stated, the Underwood quality philosophy is fine jewelry and gifts will bring customers back and create new customers through the endorsements given to Underwoods by our satisfied customers. However, it's our definition of quality that's really been the Underwood difference, because quality has to go beyond materials and craftsmanship and has to include things like design, how it's presented, our service, our integrity, a customer's experience in our store, and the satisfaction a customer feels when they've chosen a special gift from Underwoods. A person or a company earns a reputation over a long period of time. And in Underwoods, we know that you earn your reputation every day, because that good reputation can be lost in a matter of days if you're not committed to doing the right thing for the long term.
That's Underwood, serving excellence in North Florida since 1928 in San Marco, Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Hey, David again here with Royal Pest Services. It's that time of year when rodents start making their way into our homes. Layson, tell them what they need to get in.
A quarter-size hole.
That's right. That's all they need. Hey, tell them where to go for a free attic and exterior inspection.
Visit RoyalPestServices.com.
Rollovers, head-on collisions, hit and runs, you name it, we've litigated it.
And while insurance companies joke about the mayhem that occurs on roadways, we've seen the real effects. Lost lives, catastrophic injury, cars crushed like soda cans. And trust us, there's nothing funny about it.
If you've been in a crash, count on our experienced attorneys to seek full justice and all the money your case is worth.
For a fairer fight, you know who to call. Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, again, coming up at 11:15, Jaguar great Jimmy Smith will join the conversation and weigh in on where his team, it's his team, right?
Yeah.
Where it stands. It's all of our team if we support him. No question about it, but certainly Jimmy has plenty of equity in the organization. So that's coming up. I could do this for the 10-10 take, but I'm going to save that, Tony. Just interesting, Hayes bringing up the specter of the Jaguars being trade deadline sellers if they lose to the Raiders. And I do understand if you lose to the Raiders. That's one, like that was the one in the offseason to me that I thought might determine whether they could have a winning record or not, right? That was the last one. I was kind of on the fence about going either way. Now you look at them and they're a hot mess. Not that the Jags weren't this week, but overall, the Jaguars have been more competitive, more stable than the Raiders have this year. But if they lose to them, and they're sitting there at 4-4, the most are going to be like a game out of the playoff picture at that point in time. I just don't see in the first year of this regime that you're going to have this mass sell-off of players, and maybe it wouldn't be a mass sell-off. You know, we talked to D-Rock yesterday. He's like, he hadn't seen the ESPN piece on the potential trade deadline available players, and he said to us before when we were in a break, I hope they don't have ETN in that because he's not going anywhere. They're not going to move ETN. As a for instance, you would think that would be a guy if you were deciding, hey, guy's on his fifth-year option, which is the last year of his contract. We drafted 2 running backs this year. We're not going anywhere. That would be a piece. He's played well. That could be attractive to a team out there to plug in a running back and play him. Systems are all not that much more complicated, right? There are certain blocking schemes, and running backs can go to one team to another and sometimes have immediate success. I just don't see it happening with this team. I don't think they want to send that signal. I think they need to worry about building the culture that we're not going to be a 500 team and decide that at that point, which is matching the win total of the previous year, that we're all of a sudden going to punt on the season. I just don't believe that that's going to happen.
No, I think the only player they were going to trade away, they've traded away, right? And that was for a player that they thought better fit what they wanted to do on defense with Tyson being sent out, right? Like, it's whether or not that's going to be the right decision by the franchise, it's hard to know. Obviously, Tyson had the pick 6 this week, so that's what sticks in everyone's mind. But you can go look at the sheet from that game. That's all he did. Like, he had that play in that game, but he had the big moment.
Right. If Greg Newsome had done that, we'd be like, Gladstone's cooking.
I just don't know how well that trade will or won't work out. But I don't think there's anybody else that they're looking to move, at this point in time. Like, I don't even know who would fit that bill for the football team.
Like Eric Armstead, something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure who that would be. That would be attractive to a veteran-laden team that could come in and get some help for the playoff push. I think I think it's important for this group to set a tone that this is a team that believes we can accomplish. We're not giving up. We're looking at it we're right in the middle of this. And by the way, they are.
Yeah.
Literally in the playoff picture as of today, and a loss to the Raiders will not eliminate them from that. And I get it. It would not feel good 3 in a row, particularly losing that one. It is a very important game if they're able to get to where they want to get to, but I don't think it's the bellwether of whether or not they're going to punt on the season.
No, and I don't know how sure I am that they're going to bring anybody else in, right? Like how active they're going to continue to be before the trade deadline. If I wouldn't be all that surprised that they brought in one more body, right? When everything is said and done, they got enough late draft picks that they can do that kind of thing if they want to do it that way. But I'm not absolutely sure that that's something that's going to get done. But I think that's way more likely than them trading anybody away for another late draft pick.
Yeah, I think they're going to add. I'm with you. Yeah. I think they'll at least try to add. I think calls will be made. I saw a piece today. The one at ESPN basically didn't have the Jags in on anybody except Mark Andrews as a potential landing spot. There's one over at CBS that has them as a good fit, a logical landing spot for Trey Hendrickson, for example. Don't know if they're going to – to me, the Trey Hendrickson one is not the best fit here, as we talked about yesterday. Give me a Jalen Phillips. Give me even an Arden Key. Give me a guy who can help the pass rush, but I'm not trying to tilt the landscape of this defense for a one-year rental player.
Me either.
Which is likely what Trey Hendrickson would end up being. All right, we got to take a timeout. If you want to get in, you know the ways to do it on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines at 641-1010. Of course, same number for the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Feel like I'm just getting around to some of this stuff right now. You can always find us as well on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, and at 1010XL Denmark.
Ain't no laws when you're drinking claws, baby.
All right, we'll come back. Let's take a look at today's question of the day. How do we see the rest of this regular season playing out for the Jacksonville Jaguars? We got to get to our confidence picks leading off next hour. Jimmy Smith going to join us at 11:15. A lot to do here. If you want to join it, you know how to do that. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service. Go! Your play-by-play home of Bulls Bulldogs football is 1010XL.
The 7-1 Bulldogs are fired up for senior night against the Wolfpack. Bulls Wolfson, Friday at 7 on 1010 AM.
Hey, Googans, Hicken here, and I just want to once again give you this very simple reminder. Wear sunscreen. If you're outside a lot, bring the screen. Put some in your truck, on your boat, in your golf bag, whatever, wherever, just use it. Please. It's hot out there, and I just want you to protect yourself. I use it like it's cool because I think it is. But what's not cool, that's skin cancer. You don't want to deal with that. Go get yourself checked out. It could save your life. Go to beachesdermatology.com and schedule your appointment today. That's beachesdermatology.com.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
This is your escape, this is your next adventure, this is Mazda, and this is Mazda at the Avenues. Lauren Brooks here. Right now, purchase any new Mazda model, and Mazda at the Avenues will match your down payment or your payments for 1 full year. Plus, every new Mazda comes with 3 years, 36,000 miles of maintenance at no additional charge to you. This is luxury, and this is the start of something new. This is Mazda at the Avenues. For complete details, call 904-430-8047.
Why wait for a reason to send flowers? Celebrate life's little wins, or just celebrate you. Stop into the showroom on Beach and Southside, or online at JacksonvilleFlowerMarket.com. Jacksonville Flower Market. We make every day bloom.
Hunters Know Patience is part of the game.
Just got to keep hunting.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Waltz on the Nimnit Outdoors Show. Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
It's the event everyone waits for. Now at Beard's Diamonds. Buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. Now for a limited time, when you buy his wedding band, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. Save up to $10,000. Are you about to get married or been married for years thinking it's time for an upgrade? There's nothing that symbolizes your love more than the wedding band. Beard's has hundreds and hundreds of bands from top designers in white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, titanium, platinum, plain bands, channel set bands, pave set, eternity bands. And for men, masculine bands, wide, modern, with and without diamonds, hammered, brushed, engraved, lots of colors. Come to Beard's now and find the wedding band that reflects your style and your personality. Buy one, get the second one free. The big box corporate jewelry stores can't or won't do this, but Beard's can. And it's happening now through October 26th. Buy one wedding band, get the second one free. Don't miss this opportunity to celebrate your eternal love with the eternal symbol. Beard's Diamonds at St. John's Town Center.
Clean air, cool air, both are extremely important. Trust Florida Home AC to deliver on both with their Remy Halo, the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and breathe clean and cool air.
The experts at AMCO have been fixing cars for almost 60 years.
Over that time, they've gotten more complex than ever. That's why our techs undergo rigorous training and certifications, so they can fix anything, including the most complicated repairs that come with some of the latest technologies. After 60 years, there's nothing we haven't seen or fixed. It's how we know cars inside and out.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Family owned and operated in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine, and St. Mary's, Georgia.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, more Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, Jaguars Today rolling on. Text line is a great source of amusement for me sometimes. Other times, very educational. I can learn things from occasion on there.
If only people heard what his actually said on, we're on break.
As opposed to what when you saying if they could react to what we're saying, or if they, I'm not sure what context you're talking.
Like what would you say when we're on the break about some people, what they say on the text line?
Well, some people I'm not smart enough to think on their wavelength. Let's leave it at that. That'd be the nicest way to put it. And I'm always looking for the nicest way to put something, Tony. You know me. All right. Want to get to today's 10-10 take. We'll do that coming up. Let's get Dean on the south side, wants to weigh in this morning on Jaguars Today on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines. Good morning, Dean.
Good morning. Last night I had the pleasure of coming in the house, turning on 10-10, and they had someone talking. It was Coach, and I couldn't figure out who it was. It was Coach Ingram. And he was just telling the way things were, though. I didn't realize he was one of the new hosts on 10-10. But, he was talking about the inconsistency of Trevor. They're talking about the offensive side of the ball, the inability of the receivers to catch the ball properly, and then, the down and distance. So, I mean, these procedural calls are just killers as far as down and distance goes. And he was just really just letting it go, though. And I just hope at some point that these players get the message, though. I mean, that this is the NFL, though, not for long if you keep up that inconsistent play.
All right, appreciate it, Dean. Sure. I mean, of course, then you got guys who have tens of millions of dollars guaranteed to them, and not for long turns into, well, for a little longer anyway.
Yeah. I had one of those afternoons on X yesterday where every time I would open it up, which is not all that often as I go through the afternoon, but every couple of hours I would open it.
You're looking for puppy videos, weren't you?
No.
Come
What
on.
I was honestly, what I was looking for was the New York Jets injury update. Like, that's honestly.
D-Rock. D-Rock delighted us all by taking Calvin Ridley and then Mason Taylor.
Yeah, like, that's honestly what I kept going on. I was like, what? Someone tell me something about what's going on with the Jets, right? But I kept getting different people sending me the message of the Liam Cohen thing, right, where everyone has seen it by now, I would assume, with him standing in front of the whole team and talking about him blowing it on that 4th and 7, and then LaQuinn Allen saying, actually, I blew it, and he's like, I appreciate you saying it, but it's on me. From the head coach, I'm watching the football world's reacting to that video right now, that kind of thing. But I got it so many times from all these like aggregator sites that I'm like, all right, do I have to mute every one of these sites that exist on this website? Right? Like, it was bothering me. I was like, yes, I've seen it. Right? Like, obviously by this point in time, I've seen it. But it is, speaking to that kind of thing, as far as is the team getting the message that this is a not for long type of league? Well, the coach seems to be sending a very consistent message of we are accountable for ourselves, right? Like, and that's what you want from your head coach. And if there's going to be any room for the roster and the players on this team to progress, I think it has to be in a culture where the head coach is the first one putting his hand up when the hand needs to be up, right? And it encourages a player who is a 7th-round draft pick rookie to raise his hand while that kind of thing is going on, saying, actually, coach, it's on me. And he says, I appreciate you saying it, but it's on me.
Right.
Right? Like, to have that kind of thing going on, it tells you where, even with the way the last couple of weeks have gone, where the team seems to be. Right? Like, at this moment. Now, how will they bounce back from any of that coming out of the bye week? We won't know that till they play the Raiders. But it felt so positive to see that kind of energy from the head coach and the football team in that moment.
That's great. I'd rather them not have to mea culpa, right? Like, to Dean's point, the errors, the penalties, the mental mistakes are an epidemic with this organization. And if you just cut that in half, it would probably give you a couple more wins throughout the rest of the season. Maybe they do that. Maybe they don't. We don't know. We'll see how it plays out. But absolutely, they've been shooting themselves in the foot. The problem is, all this next man up, teach them a lesson. The next man up is generally not anywhere close to as good as the first man up. They're just not. Or if they are, they may be close, but they're not as good. And there's a reason for that. And so, do you live with a player who's lesser, who maybe commits 2 less penalties a game, but he's getting beat? Right? I mean, whether that's as an offensive lineman, a cornerback, whatever the case may be. And so it's not like it's not college, Tone. You don't have a 90 or 100-man roster. You got 53. You got specialists. You got, a very limited capacity to pivot from your frontline players to other guys, even when guys are making mental mistakes. Sometimes you have no choice, but it's not like you just carte blanche say, I'm benching the defense. I'm benching 4 guys this week. You can't do it in the NFL, realistically, and expect to have success. All right, let's get to today's 10-10 take.
10-10 take. Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take is serviced by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air, your go-to local HVAC company, veteran owned and operated.
All right, see if you're with me on this one, Tony. Today's question of the day: the Jags are 4-3 at the bye. How will the rest of the regular season go? I said a couple weeks ago the thing that had changed after a 4-1 start, from my perspective, was I think this team can make the playoffs as a wild card. Whereas before, I thought the only path was winning the division. And look, maybe Hayes Carline is right, and the Colts come back to the field a little bit, but that's not going to happen this week. I don't think they're going to get another half game of separation on you when they beat the Tennessee Titans. I think ultimately the Colts have raced out to this lead. We'd like to think the Jags will split with them at worst because they've had a lot of success against them in recent years. We'll see. But I have the optimism that Liam Cohen can squeeze enough wins out of this roster and this schedule to get into the playoffs as a wild card. Now, look, would I rather win the division, and do I think that's possible? Yes. But if I'm betting today what is the most likely outcome, that to me is it. And I mean, we've got a classic bell curve with today's poll, right? Like make the playoffs as a wild card, competitives and no playoffs. By far, we're getting the most feedback on that. But I do think they come out of the bye and beat the Raiders. And I know the Raiders are on their bye and they're self-scouting and doing all that stuff as well. I just don't think they're as good of a football team this year. So if you get to 5-3, you're basically halfway through your schedule. I still think there's a lot of winnable games out there, and nothing's going to be easy. But maybe some of the teams like Indy get a few injuries, and they're not as good as we expect them to be. Who knows? Maybe a team like Arizona rises up and has a good 3 or 4 week stretch, and maybe they're not coming from the same exact teams you expect those W's to come against. But I do think they'll post enough to get into the wild card picture.
I think you look at the teams that would be competing for a wild card in the AFC. Right, so whoever's going to finish second in the East, whether that be New England or Buffalo, right? That's a 5-2 Patriots team. It's a 4-2 Buffalo team at this point. I don't know that I really expect anybody from the North to compete for a wild card, right? With Cincinnati at 3-4, second in the division right now. People can do with Baltimore whatever they want to do, but I think they're most likely.
Since he's one to worry about, though, because they got the head-to-head on you.
Right. And then in the AFC West, you got Denver at the top at 5-2. The Chargers are 5-3 now after their win last night, and Kansas City's 4-3. Like, all three of those may wind up in the playoffs.
Hey, guess what? You get a chance. You already beat one of them. You got a chance against the other two to get that head-to-head as well. And we can sit here and go, oh, woe is us. We can't beat a team that good. Well, why not? Yeah. If you want to be a playoff team, go out and win one of those 2 games, at least against Denver and the Chargers.
Yeah, but I think you look at it at 4-1, and it's hard to imagine that they're not going to find a way to at least be wild card competitive. It's the way that they've lost the last couple weeks makes it a little bit more cloudy.
Understood.
As far as, going that, but I would agree with you. Like, if I was going to vote for one of those, I would say make the playoffs as a wild card.
Look, teams do have bad games, and, is Minnesota as bad as they looked last night? Maybe. They might be.
Maybe.
I don't know. But they haven't always looked that way this year, but they got beat down by 27 points, So we'll find out. Was last week's game, and to some degree the game before that, the aberration, or is it more the rule of what Jaguar football is going to be like going forward? Liam Cohen and his bunch have a lot to say about that. We'll tell you who we like in their remaining games this week, and we'll do our confidence picks when we come back. We got Jimmy Smith at 1:15. A lot to do here. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Sometimes the secret weapon is the special team.
He's got a big leg. He's got a career-long.
After the game, pump up the Superior Plumbing Special Teams Player of the Game. Sealed by Superior Plumbing and Pipelining on 1010XL.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops. Windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Northeast Florida Auto, Power Sports, and RV dealers. Tom McManus here for Dealer Connect. The nation's #1 AI conference for dealers is coming to Jacksonville October 29th and 30th at the Marriott Sawgrass in Ponte Vedra Beach. It's 2 days of tackling the future of AI in automotive with some of the industry's biggest names. Keynote speaker, Hall of Famer Joe Theismann will autograph items to benefit the Tom Coughlin J Fund. Get tickets now at DealerConnect2025.com. That's DealerConnect2025.com.
Games, sporting events.
Sports never stop.
Football, baseball, basketball, what's left, huh?
And neither does the Sports Talk on 1010XL. I'm Lauren Brooks. Set your GPS for Lauren's Lane. 2 to 4 weekdays on helmets and heels. Driven by Mazda at the Avenues.
Introducing the Jag Stack at Firehouse Subs. So bold, it's named after the home team. Stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, roast beef, provolone, fresh veggies, and the new Duval drizzle sauce. For a limited time at your local Firehouse Subs, there's only one hottest sub in Duval.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental,
Located in Bartram Park.
Hey folks, this is Denny Thompson, and when it comes to protecting my home, I turn to Tyson, the leaders in state-of-the-art home security right here in Jacksonville. Their AI cameras and smart doorbells are top-notch, keeping an eye on what matters most. Whether you're moving in or upgrading, Tyson offers flexible packages, rent or own, with specials on the first 3 years. Ramp up now for the holidays, the perfect gift for you or someone you love. Call Tyson today at 590-7979 for details.
Your home is your sanctuary, where memories are made. Jack's homeowners trust Superior Fence and Rail to make their home feel safe, secure, and complete. Imagine a classic wood fence for privacy, sturdy aluminum to protect your pets, or a modern vinyl design that boosts curb appeal. Every fence is built with precision and pride, standing strong in every season.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World, simply the best for less. And thank you for your business.
Tired of roofers who never answer the phone and just use AI?
I'm Morgan Conley, the People's Roofer. I answer every call. No robots, no runaround. I'm born here, built here, staying here. Visit morganconleyroofing.org.
This is your local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by USA Park Airport Parking. The Florida State baseball team plays at home for the first time this fall when they host UAB on Saturday at 12 p.m. The Seminoles and Blazers will play a 12.5-inning exhibition game with a 40-minute break at the end of the 7th inning. Saturday's game is the second of 3 exhibition events as part of Florida State's 2025 Fall Ball. Right now, 73 degrees at 11:02. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service on 1010XL.
Oh, it's that NFL soundtrack, Tony.
The autumn wind is a
Gotta
raider.
love it. The autumn wind is a raider. Frolicking just for fun. Or something like that. I don't know. You know the autumn wind there, Denmark?
I do. I've seen the clips before.
It's fantastic.
Yes.
It really is. I mean, John Facenda just said a bunch of gobbledygook, but he said it in such a way that you're like, hell yeah, the autumn wind's a raider.
That's epic.
It is frolicking and doing whatever the hell it wants, man. That does sound. Man, you put NFL highlights to like 3/4 speed, half speed motion with some of the soaring music, and everything looks like it was orchestrated by the gods themselves, Tony Smith. Much like our confidence picks on a weekly basis. Tom McManus is not here due to the shame of having the Jaguars on the 14-point line last week. No, he is off today, but he sent his picks to Dylan Denmark. I told you I don't have the final numbers. I came out a couple points ahead of you. I think we might have had the same record on our picks last week, but I think you had one of your losses a little bit higher. I
think it was Jacksonville.
It was like 1 or 2 points difference.
I think I had the Jags over the Rams on the 9.
I think that was it, and I had the Rams on the 1-point line, and then we had a few other different. But anyway, so I came out ahead. Tom was in 3rd place last week. It's still tight on the overall season. We predict the outcome of all the games that have yet to kick off in the order of our level of confidence for this week. There are 12 games, so our top game is worth 12, down to 1 point for our least confident outcome. I will lead things off with the Indianapolis Colts over the Tennessee Titans. I will take Kansas City as well on Monday Night Football against Washington, and I will take Tampa at New Orleans to get me 10 points. Tony Smith.
All right, I will take Indianapolis over Tennessee on the 12-point line, Kansas City over Washington on the 11, and Atlanta over Miami on the 10.
ATL, Dylan Denmark representing the law firm of McManus, and McManus.
All right, we got, let's see here. I got, try to sound like him. Didn't really sound like him.
That's good. I don't know.
Let me see. Hang on.
I got Atlanta on the 12-point line over Miami, the 11-point line. Indianapolis over Tennessee, and he has Cincinnati over the New York Jets on the 10-point line.
All right, we continue on. I've got the New England Patriots at home versus Cleveland, worth 9. I, too, will take Cincinnati versus the New York Jets, worth 8 for me, and I've got Atlanta a little bit lower than you guys, but still, nevertheless, Falcons with the win over Miami. Dylan Denmark will roll up the points with Bijan Robinson in the Breakfast Bowl this week. Tony, your next 3.
On the 9-point line, I'll take Buffalo over Carolina. The 8-point line, Philadelphia over the Giants. 7-point line, Cincinnati over the Jets.
All right, Tom McManus, proxy.
At the 9-point line, the New England Patriots over the Cleveland Browns. At the 8-point line, give me Tampa over New Orleans. And at 7, give me Chicago over Baltimore.
Chicago. All right, 6 points. Let's go 49ers. Go into Houston and smack them around. Probably no Nico Collins, no Christian Kirk. So don't know if we'll get Brock Purdy back yet. Tony's been limited in practice, but Mac Jones do the deed for us. I've got Buffalo going into Carolina and scraping out a win. I think that's going to be a close game. I think that's going to be a fun game, like a 27-24. And like you, I think Philly will right the ship against the Giants and split the season series.
Number 6, I'll take New England over Cleveland. I'll take Tampa over New Orleans on the 5-point line and Denver over Dallas on the 4.
The Broncos at home. What you got?
Philly over the New York Giants at the 6. At 5, he's got Kansas City over Washington. At 4, San Francisco over Houston.
All right, and finally, our last 3 picks of the week. I'll take Pittsburgh on Sunday Night Football at home versus Green Bay. I'm going to take Baltimore at home against Chicago. Coming off the bye, I think Lamar is pushing to play. I think this is a desperation performance from the Ravens, and I will go along with you, Tony, and take Denver against Dallas, which is going to be one of the best games to watch, I hope, at least this weekend. Your final 3?
On the 3-point line, Baltimore over Chicago. 2-point line, San Francisco over Houston. And I'll take Pittsburgh over Green Bay.
You and I might have every game the same.
Yeah, I think the only game that's been different, I think we've had one game different so far between all 3 of us. Yeah,
Chicago, and we've got Baltimore. All right,
Just
let's
the
see
order of it,
how it wraps up here. Denmark.
All right, I got Carolina 3-point line over Buffalo. I got the 2-point line. I have Dallas over Denver.
There's another one.
And the 1-point line, I got Green Bay
and
over
there's another
Pittsburgh.
one. All right, so Tommy ended up deviating with 4 different picks, and we'll see who turns out to be the best prognosticator for Week 8. I've got Indianapolis, Kansas City, Tampa Bay, New England, Cincinnati, Atlanta, San Fran, Buffalo, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Denver from most to least confident outcomes. Tony rolling with the Colts, Chiefs, Falcons, Bills, Eagles, Bengals, Patriots, Buccaneers, Broncos, Ravens, 49ers, and Steelers. And Tommy Mack, by way of Dylan Denmark, goes Atlanta, Indy, Cincinnati, the New England Patriots, Tampa Bay, Chicago, Philadelphia, Kansas City, San Francisco, the Carolina Panthers, Dallas, and the Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football. We've got Jimmy Smith, Hall of Fame semifinalist, coming up in just moments here. Dylan Denmark orchestrating the music. He's doing quite a job in there. Can we get a camera? What's the situation on getting a camera in the control room?
I don't know. There was one when we moved in, and there's not been a little camera since then.
Has it been taken away?
It has been taken away.
Interesting. All right. I bet we can get that back. If you're on the line, hang in there. We've got a conversation with Jimmy Smith on the other side on all things Jaguars. After that, we'll get back to your calls if you want to hang in at 641-1010. On the Checkmate Coatings phone lines, you're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
Question, any of you gentlemen ever played football before?
Eric Armstead and Tom McManus team up for football talk on Helmets and Heels with Lauren Brooks and Taylor Dahl. Fridays at 3. Restored by Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
You don't need to bet everything on a Hail Mary. Just find a ride in your budget. Because Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic. New name, new location, same great deals. And we have the perfect place during the Kia Fall Savings event, like a new Kia payment free for a full 90 days. Or take advantage of financing rates as low as 0%. It's always a touchdown when you shop the best deals in town. Kia on Atlantic, your coastal Kia connection.
For complete details, call 904-250-0587.
Need electric vehicle repair? Guardian Collision is expert certified for any electric vehicles. Trust the home team for auto body repair on your EV. Guardian Collision. They guard what moves you. At GuardianCollision.com.
Strong in the classroom, gifted on the field.
1010XL and Southeast Orthopedic Specialists celebrate scholar athletes. Wednesday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Activated by
The Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Grab your cowboy hat for the Beach Barbecue Bash, presented by Sunshine State Plumbing and Reliable Ducks. Thursday, October 30th. Live music, sizzling barbecue, and Southern Charm, supporting Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida. Get tickets at bgcnf.org.
Hey, Googans, Hicken here, and I just want to once again give you this very simple reminder. Wear sunscreen. If you're outside a lot, bring the screen. Put some in your truck, on your boat, in your golf bag. Whatever, wherever, just use it, please. It's hot out there, and I just want you to protect yourself. I use it like it's cool because I think it is. But what's not cool, that's skin cancer. You don't want to deal with that. Go get yourself checked out. It could save your life. Go to beachesdermatology.com and schedule your appointment today. That's beachesdermatology.com.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your National Builder of the Year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% in homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Josie for Hard Rock Bet. Hail Marys, QB draws, corner fades, it doesn't matter. When you bet on touchdowns with Hard Rock Bet, every game day can turn into a big payday. Pick your favorite player to find the end zone in Week 6 now. Last week, one bettor turned a $20 three-leg first touchdown scorer parlay into a massive $12,000 win. Are you next? Download the Hard Rock Bet app now.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too. From Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, efforting Jaguar legend Jimmy Smith. Hopefully we'll get him up here in just a moment to talk about the state of Jacksonville Jaguar football heading into the bye week at 4-3, and of course his own Hall of Fame semifinalist inclusion on the list of 52 modern candidates, and we'll get to that coming up. In the meantime, while Dylan does that, let's get a couple of these calls cleared out Dennis in Mayport's been hanging on the longest. Dennis, you're on Jaguars Today. Good morning.
Morning, fellas. Love the transparency and the peek behind the curtain from the team in the video yesterday. I think that's the type of stuff that creates long-term change, and years down the road, you can have a really great organization when you have leaders who act that way. My question, I haven't listened all week. I'm sorry if you covered it already. There was a tweet about receivers coach Edgar Bennett and his perceived negative influence on JSN in Seattle, and Roma Dunze, I think, in Chicago, and how, like, those receivers were terrible under him, and now he works on our staff, and Brian Thomas is struggling. I wanted to get your take on that if you haven't provided it already.
Yeah, I didn't see the tweet you're referencing, so I really haven't looked into Edgar Bennett's direct handling of JSN or Roma Dunze. I really can't speak that intelligently about it at this point in time. Sorry about that, Dennis. I'll look into it, and maybe we'll talk about that early next week. But right now, we got a guy who can weigh in on all things wide receiver. Certainly, Dylan, if you would.
Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
Jimmy Smith here with us. Jimmy, good morning. How are you, buddy?
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, always good to talk to you. Congrats, Hall of Fame semifinalist again for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, well-deserved, man. I mean, the Hall of Fame is well-deserved in our opinion. How do you feel about your chances this year to at least advance to the finalist stage? What's the sense that you have?
Well, it feels good, advancing to the semifinals. It's farther than I've ever been. I've been nominated every year. So it feels good to make it to the next level. So a lot of promise there. Still got a lot of receivers on the list, so it's like a bottleneck at the wide receiver position. But we're all Hall of Famers, and when you ask me, I'm just happy to be nominated amongst the best.
Jimmy, have you had the opportunity yet to meet Travis Hunter? I mean, from the time that he committed to your alma mater there at Jackson State up to today, have you had the opportunity to ever meet him?
Yes, I met him on a recruiting trip at Jackson State, and not knowing, who he was or how good he was, for him to sign with Jackson State, when he's the number one prospect in the country was huge, and it was huge for HBCUs. It was huge for my alma mater, and the blueprint that he left along with Shador and Coach Primes. That's why my team, my alma mater, is number one in the country now.
Nice.
What are your thoughts on Hunter trying to play both sides of the ball in the NFL?
Well, I love it, and the fact that he's playing both sides of the ball for the Jaguars. Jaguars need it, and I've liked the way they've eased him in the situation. And now we're at a point to where we're 4-3, and we need bodies, we need playmakers on both sides of the ball. We have no choice but to play them. And with the way that our passing game has looked, and the disappointment that that we're all going through with BTJ not living up to what he did the last 5 games of the season last year, we need him as a number one receiver now. And I think he's primed and ready for it.
Jimmy, we'll get into specifically Brian Thomas here in a minute, but drops have been an issue with him, but they've plagued this entire pass-catching group. Maybe not every single person, but there's enough to go around with Parker Washington, De'Ami Brown. How do you stop that? These guys are capable of catching the football. They're professional athletes. They wouldn't have made it this far. How does this happen, these kind of slumps, and how do you snap players out of it?
Put them on the bench. That's exactly how you do it. That's what
but what if you've got multiple guys? What if you got 2 or 3 guys in the wide receiver core that are all having drop issues?
Well, I think this is the thing. We're going based, with this coaching staff coming in here, Coach Cohen. I love him to death. He's got to move the pieces around that best fits this offense, and I think that's what we've been seen these last few weeks. You don't really know if who's the starter or who who's going to be the guy. So I think we're spending these first 7 weeks in trying to put the puzzle together. You don't stop it. I mean, if you're talking about something in practice or something dealing with coaches, what I see is, guys, I just see basic fundamentals. Basic fundamentals. Your stance. You've heard me talk about that before. Your stance is the most important thing in football. You're coming off the ball for 4 quarters, hard. Coming off the ball. Those are just basic fundamentals. Keeping your shoulders square to the line of scrimmage at the top of your route.
And you're not seeing that with these guys.
No, not at all. It's terrible. I hate it. It drives me crazy on game day when I see somebody standing up at the line of scrimmage and not coming off the ball, not putting pressure on the defensive secondary. So the defensive secondary is now playing on their toes instead of playing on their heels. It opens the entire offense up, even the running game.
Has that been an issue in throwing timing off? Because I've seen some of your critiques on social media, right? Like BTJ doesn't look like he's exploding off the ball.
If you're not coming off the ball to begin with, how are you going to get there in time enough when you're supposed to be? If you're not coming off the ball, the quarterback's holding the ball ready to throw it to you. One thing, that offensive coordinators say, Norv Turner said this in Dallas. Jimmy, if you see Troy Aikman throwing you the football, chances are you've done something wrong. Kevin Gilbride told me the same thing when our first couple of years in Jacksonville. If you see Mark Brunell throw you the football, chances are you've done something wrong.
And
you're not coming off.
What does that mean? Because you should be just reacting to the ball coming to you, or what is it? You're looking in the backfield?
Ball in the NFL. Yeah, in the NFL, the ball is thrown to a spot they call honey holes. And it's up to the receiver to do whatever he can do to get to those honey holes at the right time.
Jimmy, there's never been – go ahead, Jimmy.
On deep balls. When you line up and run a go route, when me and Mark lined up, I knew Mark Brunell was throwing the ball between 35, 36, maybe 37 yards downfield. 4 yards away from the sideline. That's where the ball's coming down at. I knew that. Mark knew that. Everybody knows that. So it was up to me to do whatever I had to do, whether it was releases or whatever. I knew that I had to arrive at that spot downfield because that's to meet the ball. It was my job to get the ball. It's a wide receiver.
Jimmy, there's been no one that's worn a Jaguars uniform that is more qualified probably to answer this kind of question, but you mentioned a few moments ago that maybe Travis Hunter needs to be the number one for this football team with what we're seeing from Brian Thomas Jr. to this point this year. What does it mean to be a number one wide receiver in the NFL?
That you win every play. And what I've been seeing when I run back film, the one that's winning every play is Travis Hunter. He's winning every play. You have to win regardless of coverage. That's what it means to be a number one receiver. It's called, as guys call it, we win off the muscle. Regardless of what coverage you're facing or whether it's a blitz, a hot, or whatever, you win. 10 out of 10 times, that's your job, to win. And if you're not doing that, you're not number one, period.
Jimmy, what role does Trevor Lawrence have in the passing game struggles? Like, I mean, we all know it's not all on one person, right? It's not all on Brian Thomas, not all on Parker Washington, not all on the offensive line or Trevor Lawrence. It's a combination. But what have you seen good from Trevor, and what do you see from Trevor that needs to be improved?
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, I've seen some good things from Trevor, and I've seen some things from Trevor. And I can understand Trevor more than I can understand anything else. You know, when he's sitting back there waiting for a receiver to get open, I feel sorry for him because he doesn't have time to sit back there all day. Mm-hmm. Trevor is our quarterback, all right? He's not going anywhere. He's going to be here. So, and then in defense to Trevor, I'm defending Trevor. He's had 3 or 4 coaches, man. He hasn't even been he hasn't had a chance to settle down and get some stability with an offense because he hasn't had a coach for more than 2 or 3 years.
Jimmy,
That's what I see.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on the functionality of Liam Cohen's offense? You've talked about the guys and the receivers need to do a better job working within the offense, but what are your just thoughts overall, Liam Cohen, as the first-year head coach here and the kind of offense that he wants to run?
I like it. Because, until defenses get the opposing defenses get film on you, but I like his play design. I like how he's getting guys open. I like his good mix of run and pass. I love it. I love what Liam Cohen is doing as far as the offense. Guys just got to step up.
So what do you think?
Consistently.
And they haven't, but there is some newness here, but they are 4-3, and they have not played their best football for the last couple games. We're well aware of that, right? But they still are at 4-3, and they have a chance to turn things around, get it rectified back on the winning path. What do you see over the remaining 10 games of the season likely to happen for the Jacksonville Jaguars?
It can go really good or it can go really bad. My hopes are for them to continue to put the pieces of the puzzle together. We're not just because we beat Kansas City don't make us there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's continue to build this team, continue to get better. Move some guys around, find out what position suits them best, find out what routes or what plays they execute the best. Find out what they don't do so good, also. He's learning the team. And I think he's doing an awesome job being at 4-3. Should be 5-2. We shouldn't have lost to Cincinnati.
Right.
But that's another story.
Given the way
he's still. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jimmy. You were finish your answer.
No, go ahead. I lost my thought.
It's all good,
you
man.
can tell I'm kind of hyped when I'm passionate when I talk about my Jaguars, especially the receiving corps.
Yeah. Given the way the first 7 games have gone, what are your expectations for Brian Thomas Jr. over the last 10?
My expectations, I don't know. I really don't. I don't see this often. Guys not coming off the ball.
Is that the number one thing? What's the number one thing he needs to correct?
The number one thing, man, the number one thing is just plain and simple. Get your stance down and come off the ball for 4 quarters, period. Don't even worry about catching no passes. Just come off the ball for 4 quarters and make sure you block. I guarantee you we'll have a better offensive performance with the stance down, coming off the ball for 4 quarters hard, like Travis Hunter is beginning to do. Travis Hunter is coming off the ball. Look at the film last week. They come off the ball.
If you had to say what you think the identity of this football team is right now, Jimmy, what do you see it as?
I don't even think they have an identity yet. What about you? Let me ask yourself the same question. What do you think?
We have asked ourselves, and I don't think they do either.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they've tried to establish one, but I don't think they've been consistently good enough at any one thing. It was a defense that was opportunistic, taking the ball away, but sometimes the ball finds you, and that has not been what they've been for the last couple of weeks. No. So you can't always count on the wave of turnovers. They want to be a running team. They haven't run it well in recent weeks, or at least not at a great volume. I don't know. They're a team that's above 500, and I guess that's good enough for right now. But how would you like to see them establish an identity? Would you like to see them be that team that can run it whenever they want, or they're known for their defense? I mean, what would you like their identity to be based on the personnel they have?
Right now, they're known for the defense. With the way that Lloyd has been playing, he's been playing lights out, and it's good to see him do that because, he's been on the bad end of a lot of bad play the previous years. Can we all agree? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now look at him. Now, see, everybody needs to do that. Everybody do that, have just a all-out, play like this is the last year of your contract. That's what it is. Contract years. Everybody need to play like they on a contract year. Play hard. Just play hard. See, when I played, we had a bunch of ass kickers out there, guys.
We saw it.
We kicked ass. Yeah. We were bullies. We wasn't getting bullied. Even me and Keenan. I wish he would try to bully me and Keenan. We didn't play that crap.
Do you think this team is as physical as they need to be?
No.
Can they get there? Is that more attitude or talent?
It's your attitude. It's your attitude. That's a good question there. It's your attitude.
All right. Well, we know where you stand on some of these things. What has it been like for you expressing your opinion on social media and getting pushback from some Jag fans who feel like when you criticize the team that you're, I don't know, overstepping or whatever? They don't want to hear that kind of stuff. How have you reacted to that kind of feedback that you've gotten?
I guess they for those who don't like what I'm saying, just unfollow me like Brian Thomas did. How about that? Because I think I've earned the right. Somebody got. I'm not going to sit back and not say nothing.
And we've all got the right. You actually have the position that you're coming from that actually has reason to believe that you know what you're talking about. So,
well, I feel like as far as one of the as a franchise leading receiver, I've set the standard for receivers. Now I haven't, I feel like coming. I was all in on Brian Thomas. I'm really mad because he's killing my Madden ratings. I'm losing games because he's dropping balls on Madden. That's why I'm really mad. I'm getting my butt beat because he's dropping balls on Madden.
And the truth comes out now.
Like, there it is, right there. That's why I'm really mad.
All right, and I'm sure some people think that's the case too. All right, listen, man. We'll let you go. We can tell you're fired up about it. It's a passionate subject, and we love the fact that you're passionate about the organization and your team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. We wish you continued success down the path to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and hopefully, maybe a month from now. Hey, look, hopefully a month from now, Jimmy, we get these guys playing a little bit better. We'll have you back on, and we can talk about some of the positive changes that they've made.
Thank you, guys.
All right,
thanks for having me on.
We always appreciate it. Jimmy Smith, at Jimmy Smith Jags, you'll find on the X platform right there. I mean, Jimmy's fired up.
Yeah, I haven't heard him that fired up.
I don't think he's
time,
I've seen people, he's jealous of Brian Thomas. Go look at Jimmy's resume.
Are you serious?
Go look at his resume. He doesn't need to be jealous of Brian Thomas. I mean, Jimmy Smith did set the standard here in Jacksonville. And, he's entitled to his opinion. We're all entitled. You're entitled to argue with Jimmy Smith. I get that. But the idea that Jimmy –
holding Brian Thomas Jr. to the standard that he set is not out of bounds.
That's a phenomenal thing, right? They hired Tony Baselli to hold the whole organization to that 90s Jaguars standard, that Tony Baselli Hall of Fame level standard. Jimmy Smith, Fred Taylor in that kind of pool in terms of productivity and talent. Anyway, appreciate Jimmy weighing in. Whether you agree with all his thoughts or not, you're welcome to give us a little feedback at 641-1010. Got to take a break, a little bit behind, but it was well worth it to have Jimmy Smith on with us here on Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach. Beautiful weather right now. That's the perfect time to have your roof checked out. Do you have damage? Does your roof leak? Is it just plain worn out? Don't wait. Apex is on the job. Local, dependable. They'll show up on time using only premium materials with ironclad warranties. No shortcuts, no stress, only quality work that you can trust. Skip the storm season scramble. Reach for the peak. Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach and online at apexroofingfl.com.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL, where electrifying moments come to life.
Inside of a minute to play.
And legendary performances live.
The monumental milestone in a legendary career.
1010XL, the power of Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Hicken here. Celebrate the spooky season with Zero Res. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $139, plus a free haul, and take 15% off your air duct and dryer vent cleaning. Book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and take advantage of these huge savings.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Hey Jacksonville, Rick Ballou here. Looking for a brand new truck? Right now, Crew Cab Ram trucks start at just $38,900 at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram West Side. And every new retail purchase comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty and no extra cost. From tough Ram trucks to adventure ready Jeeps, they've got the perfect ride waiting for you. Stop by Commonwealth Avenue or shop online at jaxwest.com. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram West Side, proud partner of the Jaguars.
Jaguar fans, Palm Beach Autographs is putting together a Fanatics exclusive with a chance for you to meet and get an autograph from Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas Jr. All the details are at palmbeachautographs.com. It's happening October 28th at Palm Beach Autographs in the Avenues Mall.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron. Totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens, also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings, and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
Joe C for Preferred Roofing, reminding you your roof is more than just felt and shingles. It's a system that not only keeps your home dry, but also impacts your heating and cooling bills. Preferred Roofing and Construction is a GAF Master Elite roofing contractor lauded for having the ability to educate and inform homeowners on their options. Why GAF and Preferred Roofing? They're veteran-owned and operated with ties to Duval for decades. A family business ready to make sure your family has a good roof over its head. Log on, preferredroofingjax.com.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose Duck Duck Rooter, the area's most trusted service company. We're licensed, insured, and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations, septic tank pump outs, drain field installations, and full air conditioning service, we do it all. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
1010XL, presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, appreciate Jimmy Smith weighing in. Hope you got to hear that. If you ever want to go back and listen, you can always go to YouTube. We archive the show. You can listen, watch it back, whatever you like. One of the reasons, look, we don't take as gospel. Somebody calls up and says, hey, this happened. Well, maybe it did. I don't know if it did or not. I don't know who you are on the other end of the line. And I understand, and part of it is because sometimes it's a game of telephone. Somebody called us up earlier and said, what do you make of Edgar Bennett and his impact, a negative impact on JSN and Roma Dunze? And I'm like, I got to go look. And I'm like, wait a minute. It's like, look, Edgar Bennett didn't coach those guys. And they're talking about Shane Waldron, who's the passing game coordinator. Not even the same person. And it all came from a thread. Somebody started out, who's the wide receivers coach? And somebody replied, the same guy that had JSN his rookie year. And they went on to, somebody did say, no, that's our passing game coordinator. But it's a known fact. Known fact. Usually known facts are not known facts. That he ruined JSN. Because, look, JSN's obviously ruined, right? Yeah. And Adunze, during his time as their offensive coordinator. A passing game coordinator is not a wide receivers coach.
No.
Here's the definition. Passing game coordinator specializes in the team's passing attack, designing plays, game planning, coaching specific situations like third down in the red zone. He's not working with Brian Thomas on how to catch the football.
No.
Has no impact on that whatsoever. The fact that he's here, if you want to blame it on his presence, feel free. But I mean, if you want to blame something on Edgar Bennett, he is the wide receivers coach. And I don't, by the way, think that Edgar Bennett doesn't have the ability to show somebody how to catch the football and talk. I'm sure he is preaching some of these same principles that we heard Jimmy Smith so adamant about, Tony.
Oh, for sure.
But at a certain point, like Tom McManus will tell you, it's players, players, players. You've got to, at some point, the coach can tell you 5,000 times, you've got to execute it, or they got to find somebody who can.
And looking at these kind of things a little bit here, in light of a conversation we've had throughout the week with the trade potential targets for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Edgar Bennett, before he was hired at the position he's got here in Jacksonville.
Coach Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, he was coaching Jacoby Myers. So he has an idea of what he could provide if that is a guy they're interested in. That doesn't make me any more or less interested in him, but you at least have a guy in the building that can give you what the inside scoop would be on him.
Correct. All right, let's get Cody real quick up on the phone lines, get one more break in before we roll along. Cody, good morning.
How are you guys doing this morning?
Good.
Man, I'm still very confident this team can win the AFC South. I mean, I still see us winning 6 to 7 games if we can clean the penalties up and have guys catching the ball and everything like that. But if we end up losing to the Raiders next week, I think we're going to be in big trouble. What do you guys think about it?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yes, correct. That's a game. Can't lose to the Titans, can't lose to the Jets, can't lose to the Raiders. That's 4 games because you got the Titans twice.
And I would say if you're thinking they can win 10 or 11, if they're going to win the division, you better make that 11. Is pretty much how I would look at it, because the Colts are going to get 7 this week, right? Like, I don't see them losing this week to Tennessee. So are they going to win 4 more, even as tough as the schedule may get for the Indianapolis Colts? I think they're a team that's good enough that I wouldn't expect them to win fewer than 4 more games beyond that.
Look, you get your chance head-to-head with them. I'm not worried. Like, you can't worry about it right now. All you can worry about is the Raiders, and I do think that, like you said, you're going to pick them. I'm going to pick them. The Raiders are terrible. They didn't score a single point this past week. As bad as the Jags were, the Raiders were a degree worse than the Jacksonville Jaguars.
If you thought anyone has sounded like they've been down on the Jags the last 2 weeks, wait for them to lose to the Raiders.
Oh,
and
without
listen to
question.
how all of it
I mean,
sounds.
at least those teams that they lost to, even if the fashion was embarrassing against the Rams, those are teams headed to the postseason.
Yeah.
It appears. All right, we got to take our final time out here. Tony will take us around the league. We get back, we'll have some final thoughts, including checking in on today's question of the day poll and see where you stand on what the Jaguars' rest of the season will look like. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminex. When mice and rats show up in your home or business, they can be a real pain. You need them out fast, before they have time to multiply. Terminex knows how to shut down rodents and will keep them from coming back to wreak more havoc. When rodents show up, so does Terminex. Don't live with a rodent problem, Terminex it. Visit Terminex.com today to schedule a free inspection online just like I did. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Frank Frangie for Lee and Kate's Glass, still family-owned and in business for 100 years. When they say you're going to see a big difference, that's for everything. Custom showers and spas, tabletops, mirrors, even replacing foggy windows, all at a more affordable price. And with your satisfaction absolutely guaranteed, Lee and Kate's Glass is your best choice. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Here's hoping for a Raise the Roof football season. And here's knowing Next Gen Roofing is up for any job. Game day or storm season, you need a team you can trust. And you know what? You don't need a glitzy roofing company. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, no nonsense. Solid roofs at competitive prices and a commitment to the First Coast community. Right now, save up to $300 on your next roof replacement. When you need a roof, you need Next Gen Roofing. Team with you, it's a win every time.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Bud Light and everyone at Anheuser-Busch want to remind you to get home safely every time. People are counting on you, on the road and at home. Plan ahead with safe rides, and don't forget to hydrate between beers. Bud Light encourages everyone to enjoy responsibly and socialize safely.
Hey, Googans, Hicken here, and I just want to once again give you this very simple reminder. Wear sunscreen. If you're outside a lot, bring the screen. Put some in your truck, on your boat, in your golf bag, whatever, wherever, just use it. Please. It's hot out there, and I just want you to protect yourself. I use it like it's cool because I think it is. But what's not cool, that's skin cancer. You don't want to deal with that. Go get yourself checked out. It could save your life. Go to beachesdermatology.com and schedule your appointment today. That's beachesdermatology.com.
This football season, Hurricane Grill and Wings is your game day getaway. Catch every play with the perfect drink in hand. Handcrafted cocktails like the Millionaire Margarita, Spicy Guavarita, Old Fashioned, or the Red Bullerita. Beer more your style to watch the games? Enjoy an ice cold Bud Light. Game day cocktails and Bud Light specials are here all season long at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find a restaurant near you at hurricanewings.com.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. We can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, a couple of things on the text line. I don't have it right in front of me. I saw one, somebody downplay. Oh, Tyson Campbell's pick. He didn't even make the play. Somebody else tipped it up. How many of our turnovers that we've gotten this year have been deflected balls or what have you? You know, I mean, that's how turnovers happen a lot of times. Yeah, it's nice when you could step in front of a receiver and make that play and jump a route and all that. But I'm just saying, if we had, as we referenced earlier, if Greg Newsome had a pick six under any circumstances, we'd be raving about.
Make the play, you make the play.
The addition. So anyway, and also this one, let Etienne Walk get a compensatory pick. All right, that's presuming the Jags don't sign anybody in free agency. I mean, and the size of the contract that he gets, because it's not about the player, it's about the size of the contract they get. And so, you know, if the Jags sign a lineman in free agency, keeping in mind they don't have a first-round pick next year, and that contract supersedes what Etienne's getting, you're not getting a compensatory pick.
No.
It's a complete formula of what you're adding versus what you're losing. And, I mean, there's a potential that could happen, but even if it does, that's going to be another year further down in the future. I'm not saying that they won't let him walk. I'm just saying it's not as simple as he walks, we get a pick for it. Maybe. Pretty complicated formula as far as that goes. Tony, why don't you take us around the NFL?
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
Houston wide receiver Nico Collins has not been able to practice yet this week after suffering a concussion on Monday Night Football. Tennessee has placed cornerback L'Jarius Sneed on IR due to a quad injury. Washington has ruled out quarterback Jaden Daniels for Monday Night Football. Carolina quarterback Bryce Young missed practice for a second straight day yesterday for the Panthers. Philadelphia wide receiver A.J. Brown missed the second straight day of practice due to a hamstring injury. Kansas City running back Kareem Hunt did not practice on Thursday as he deals with a bone bruise that limited him in practice on Wednesday. And the New York Giants have signed wide receiver Ray McLeod, who was released by Atlanta earlier this week, to their practice squad.
I'm that kind of guy. I just want to know why Ray McLeod was released. There's some issue going on behind the scenes there, and maybe we'll find out one day. It's not that important. It's not important at all, really, but I'm that guy. I want to read the Inquirer, the sports level Inquirer, and find out what's happening with that. Man, you got plenty if you like the Inquirer level sports stories that just went down in the last 48 hours. Most of it coming out of the NBA. Regardless, hopefully the Jags are enjoying their downtime this weekend and ready to hit the ground running on Monday. And, look, tighten up. Take a look in the mirror and point the finger only at yourself and what you can do to get better to help this football team. It's all anybody can do in anything, Tony. You can't make me a better host. I can't make you a better host. You got to have the desire to do it yourself. And hopefully we'll see these guys, the old nose to the grindstone kind of thing. And again, 4-3, there is plenty of winnable football out there in front of the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2025. Will they take advantage of it? We'll find out. Right now, let's say hello to XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, Matt Hayes, what's going on with you?
Greetings, fellas. How are you?
Greetings. We're doing quite well. We had Jimmy Smith on today. He was fired up. Had the Hammer, Hayes Carline on, so you can't really have a better show than that.
No, those are two pretty good guests.
I mean, that's a Jaguars conversation sandwich, and they are outstanding bread. I'm going to shut up before I make another bad metaphor. What's coming up on XL Primetime?
I'm kind of like stunned by that metaphor.
Yeah, I know. Trying to picture in your head. How is that going to play out?
Well, we're going to try and beat that. We've got Dave Campbell coming up in the first hour, as well as Ryan O'Halloran, and we're going to talk Jags and college football and get into the curious case of the Minnesota Vikings and Sam Darnold.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was fantastic with the Vikings, and he's pretty fantastic right now.
Fantastic right now.
Right, but, I mean, when you draft a quarterback like that in the first round, man, it's tough to say, well, we're going to go with this guy who has been a journeyman throughout most of his career right now. But, man, I mean, come on. Clearly, I mean, Wentz is out there wincing in pain. Every snap last night. That shoulder was killing him, the left shoulder. He banged his thumb on a helmet in the game, and they said earlier J.J. McCarthy had to be 130% healthy to get in the lineup. That's not encouraging.
It's a good way to handle those kind of things.
Good way to hide J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, right.
Like, what are you seeing
and
from
your
this
star
guy?
wide receiver is expressing all kinds of frustration.
Not a good way to hide your huge mistake of moving on from Sam Darnold.
Wait, breaking news. A star wide receiver expressed frustration.
No way.
Never happens in the NFL. Matt, have a good weekend.
Thanks, fellas. You
and
too.
Have a good show. Appreciate you very much. All right, Tony, what are you going to do instead of watching the Jags? Just watching the rest of the NFL this weekend?
I will be watching the rest of the NFL,
Yeah, me too, man. I love it. I'm looking forward to it. Sleeping in 2 days in a row, Saturday and Sunday, but just getting up, check those inactives, baby, and then just kind of let my eyes roll back a little bit and watch football for the rest of the day. Good luck to Bulls tonight against your alma mater. May not need
it. That's what they need.
Denmark, good luck against Andrew Jackson.
Thank you, sir.
Leading them out there as Coach Denmark does. And to all of you out there, all we can do is hope that the Jags make good use of their downtime and come out firing on all cylinders next week. So enjoy a little Jaguar-free weekend coming up, and we will reconvene on Monday. Tom McManus with the day off, but we always appreciate Tommy Mack. He'll be back next week. And, of course, we thank Hayes Carline and Hall of Fame semifinalist Jimmy Smith for joining the conversation today. That's going to do it for us. XL Primetime is on the way. Jaguars Today returns on Monday from 10 to noon right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Maxwell House Coffee will live on forever.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL.
Learn everything you need to know about the Jaguars on Duval Rundown. I'm Hayes Carline. Join me each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning at 9:04. You can find Duval Rundown on all the social channels of 1010XL.
Driven by Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside.
Jacksonville Hickens calling it. Checkmate Coatings, my MVP. Tough, slick floors that dominate any space.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision.